In this video, I'm going to show you how I do a certain type of lettering, which I use on a few of my cakes. Now, this video has been requested by lots of my followers on Facebook, so I thought I'd show you how to do it. And I'll just show you now some examples of where I've used the letters on other cakes, okay? And it's quite easy to do. So, for my lettering, and you don't have to use the same ones as me, I've got these little cookie cutters, which I actually bought off eBay, and they're only really cheap. Now, I don't know what they were called. They didn't really come packaged or anything, and they were just called letter cookie cutters, okay? But they need to be a decent size, otherwise you'll find it really difficult to make them, okay? So, you're literally just going to start with some fondant. You can use any colour. And you're just going to roll it out reasonably thin, not paper thin. A couple of millimetres should be fine. And you're just going to pop in your little cutter. I'll take the edge bit off first. And then I'll try and push that out. Now sometimes it gets stuck, so I'll just push that down a little bit with my brush. Okay. Now, when you've cut out your letters, what you want to do is put them to one side for a day or two and let them dry hard. Otherwise you'll find when we try and put a coloured edging on that they will just bend and break and we'll struggle to do it, okay? So leave them to dry. And I made some the other day which have now dried. So what I'm going to do now is take in a colour that I think will go well with the colour on the inside. I'm going to mix it with some Trex. So you'll see I'm using plenty of Trex. Trex is just a vegetable fat. You can usually get it in the supermarkets down the aisle where the butter and lard and things are. Okay. Now it just makes it a little bit softer because you can either roll this by hand or you can use like a little clay gun like what I've got, which again I just got off Amazon, this one. So what we're going to do is create like a long thin round piece which we will put around the edge of our lettering. So if you're doing it freehand, you're literally just going to roll it till you get it nice and thin. Now it can be difficult to get it all the same width. So I'm going to put it through here, but you don't have to do it with using one of these. I just find it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to add a bit more Trex, just to make it a little bit softer so it goes through the clay gun a bit easier. Now it's quite warm today, so hopefully it means the icing should soften and go through it quite easily. So with this thing, you get loads of different little shaped and size end pieces. So I'm just going to use a little round one. I don't want it too thick that when I put it on it's going to be bigger than my letter. So this size wise will do. So I'll just pop that in the end. Screw the end on. Okay, now with my icing, I'm just going to take a piece, roll it thin and push it in like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to push down and you should see it starts to come out. Now it's still quite hard to push through and I do sometimes struggle getting it out. So we'll keep going. And it just wants to be long enough that it can go all the way around. So I think that's plenty long enough to go around this letter C. So when you've done that, you want to put a little bit of water all the way around the edge bit. Now careful not to get it on the back, because if you get it on the back you'll just find that your lettering sticks to whatever you put it down on straight away. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay. And I'm going to lay it flat for when I put this on. So I'm going to start by pressing it and I'll just lift it around here so that you can get it around this edge. Now if you think it looks a bit bulky in this size, just make sure it's a little bit thinner when you put it on. So just pushing it all the way around. Now just push it in a little bit with your paintbrush. Your paintbrush doesn't have to be wet, by the way, to do this, just to make sure it's sticking as you're going along, especially in the bits where it's difficult to get your finger into. Okay, so we've come now to the bit where it's going to join. So I'm just going to cut that so it's about level with it. And I'm just going to push it in like that. Okay, so that's one letter done. Now, these letters are a bit harder because they've got little holes cut out, so again, exactly the same. Just a bit of water in the centres. And what I tend to do for this is start kind of over the top of my letter and try, it might even be easier to lift it off, to create a bit of a circle. And then I'm just going to cut. And then what I'm going to do is, using my paintbrush, I'm just going to gently try and poke it in, which is a bit of a squeeze because I've used quite a fat piece. I'm going to poke it into that hole. Okay. So same again on the other one. And push my paintbrush back in to open it out again. So then it's exactly the same all the way around the edge as what we did with that one. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do the lettering using the cutters. So it is quite quick and simple to do. And it does look quite effective on the cakes. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.